Hey, welcome back to part 3 of my 3-part headlight series I'm doing for the Hyundai Veloster headlights. My name is Steve Peterson. This is my 2014 Hyundai Veloster Turbo. If you haven't already, please go back and check out part 1 and part 2 that I have done in this 3-part series for these headlights. In part 3 here, we're just going to cover the resealing process, so putting the lens back on the back half of the bezel and getting them all pressed back together and sealed up and then presentable. I do show you a final result of what those headlights turned out to be, show you what they look like after I've painted some of the pieces inside, things like that. So hopefully you enjoy this video. Basically, to reassemble, we have gotten all of the insides reassembled and put back together and dropped back down into our lens housing here. You'll see around the edge of the lens, there are a few places where you have some kind of bubbled over butyl, and right now it's really hard, it's cold. So our process is going to be basically to warm up the butyl around the edge of the lens, as well as warm up the butyl around the housing half or housing portion of the headlight. So you'll see around the outside edge in this channel. And I remember right, this is the channel that we did not want to bend all up, prying them apart when we took the headlights apart. So we're going to basically warm this up lightly. We don't need to get it super hot yet, but just warm it up enough so that you can kind of ply it around and squish it back down into the channel the best you can. Right now, it's been, kind of squished out, and there's kind of a channel down through the middle where the lens used to sit from the first time it was sealed back together. So we want to just kind of warm it up with the heat gun very lightly, go all the way around, work it around. You're going to get kind of a result that looks something kind of like here, where I've pressed it all back down in the channel. Okay, we've got the butyl kind of all spread back into the channels after it's all warmed up. It is not completely hot yet. The last step before we finally press these two halves back together is to get the butyl around both halves pretty hot, very gooey. Consistency, and to do that we're going to go up to high on the heat gun and basically just keep doing laps consistently around both pieces, get them up to a real gooey, nice shiny temperature, and then set the cases up to press them back together. As you're pressing the two cases back together, you're going to want to keep heat working around the two cases, because if this butyl cools off too much, you're not going to be able to get the cases to press all the way back together, and they're not going to seal up right. So this is kind of a tedious process. You really got to pay attention to how hot you're getting this butyl as you're warming it up, because you want it all to be hot and consistent and warm all the way around. So we're going to do that, and the next clip you're going to see after that will be me actually pressing these two cases together and doing that final seal. As you're heating this stuff up, you can watch it go from kind of a dull gray to a shiny black, kind of a surface. Again, as it heats up, you can watch it and watch it. Again, you don't want to get it completely gooey just in one spot. You're going to want to keep this kind of consistent all the way around. You'll notice how close I have the heat gun to the surface area. I've got it very close. Although I'm keeping it moving, I'm not leaving it in one spot for any long period of time. I'm being careful to focus the heat gun specifically on the edges and not anywhere else. Now this is going to be quite a few laps you're going to take around each piece. So I'm going to hit this piece, and then I'm going to flip over to the back side of the bezel and do it on there as well. And then I'm going to come back and hit this real quick one more time, and then we're going to seal them together. Okay, we've got both channels on the bezel and the lens really hot and heated up. Basically, you're just going to get the parts lined back together. Don't forget your plug here for the eye line. You got to plug that back together. You're going to line your two halves kind of back up together and get them kind of started. Make sure everything's kind of lined back up, and then I like to use the corner of the table as some leverage here, and basically you're just going to start pressing down with the whole
the whole assembly. And it's going to take quite a bit of force. But you'll be able to see once everything starts getting lined up back where it's supposed to be, all of the little notches will all kind of line up and kind of click back together. It's going to take quite a bit of force. So once you kind of get started, you're going to want to grab your heat gun and keep this hot. The last thing you want to be doing is fighting against the butyl as it cools off. So again, just forcing the two pieces together. Once you got it all kind of set up, it's okay to take a break for a second. You know, go back to the heat gun, start working the heat gun around again, get it back up to a nice hot temperature, and then you can start pressing again on it. We're not going to worry about these 3 screws yet. I like to get it pressed back together as far as I possibly can before I put those screws in there. Those screws are not to use to pull the pieces back together.
We have here our finished, fully assembled, fully sealed back up end result on these Veloster Turbo headlights. Kept them very simple. Just did a slight color change with the metallic dark gray kind of ribbon and accent pieces, and then left this end of the projector in white. I think they turned out absolutely fantastic. They really flow well with the Euro corner lenses and the headlights as well. Very happy with the end result. They sealed back up really well. You can see around the edges here that we got everything nice and sealed back up along this seam. Everything nice and tight and clean. You can tell that I didn't go crazy with a pry bar or anything like that. Matter of fact, we didn't really use one at all. And everything sealed back up nicely. Kept the lenses from getting scratched with the towel on the table, and was able to clean those all back up. And we're going to send these out and get them back to the customer, and they can put it back on their vehicle. If you're interested in seeing some of my videos or checking out my other headlight videos, you can find them here on my YouTube channel. You can find me also on other social media channels via Instagram, TikTok, etc. at Steve the Woody Peterson. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.